Big Blue, stop right now. MetLife Stadium just exploded with breaking news, and one major shift in East Rutherford is already set in stone. John Harbaugh has completely revamped the intensity inside Quest Diagnostics Training Center, while two former first-round talents are suddenly sending shockwaves across the entire NFC East. Insiders dropped the update just hours ago, and here is your first major payoff. Brian Burns, coming off a career-high 16.5 sacks, isn't just surviving this grueling training camp, he's openly praising the grueling workload as the key to modern-day dominance. If you bleed blue, white, and red more than you hate the Eagles, hit like and subscribe right now. We start with the grueling culture change shaking up Big Blue. Stay locked, there's a double cliffhanger at the end. Scouts called it an intentional culture shock, and the front office knew exactly what they were signing up for when they made the call this offseason. Going from Brian Daboll to a Super Bowl winning commander was never going to be a subtle transition, but no one truly anticipated how fast the locker room would lock in. The name driving this relentless physical standard? Head coach John Harbaugh, and the veteran leadership in New York is already buying into every single drop of sweat. When you look at what Baltimore accomplished across nearly 2 decades, winning a championship and crashing the postseason 12 times in 18 years, the foundation was always built on brutal, unforgiving practices. Now that exact same blue-collar blueprint has arrived in East Rutherford, and the physical demands are stacking up fast. While addressing reporters right after a brutal Monday practice session, edge rusher Brian Burns didn't hold back when asked about the grueling pace. Burns admitted that these scorching August days do stack up on your body, but he made it clear that training camp isn't meant to be easy. In his exact words, going through this grind isn't doing anything except making this roster stronger, even when players are sore, unmotivated, or feeling completely exhausted. That is pure leadership from a guy who just delivered a career-high 16.5 sacks last season. Think about the weight of that statement for a second. How many high-paid star defenders would complain about intense summer practices? Instead, Burns is embracing the physical toll because he understands the ultimate goal. Across his 7-year career, the 28-year-old 3-time Pro Bowler has never played in a single playoff game. He is starving for meaningful football in January, and seeing Harbaugh match his level of relentless effort feels like an absolute blessing rather than a curse. In many ways, Harbaugh is bringing back that modern-day Tom Coughlin aura, a coach who pushes players past their perceived limits so that when the fourth quarter arrives in December, the Giants are the ones overpowering their opponents. Young quarterback Jackson Dart has been singing the coaching staff's praises all summer, and when veterans like Burns lead by example, the culture shift becomes contagious. The talent on this defensive line was already considered top tier, but pairing that raw talent with unyielding physical conditioning could elevate this defense into a terrifying unit. Furthermore, Harbaugh brought in experienced minds like defensive coordinator Denard Wilson and offensive coordinator Matt Nagy to ensure that every single rep on the practice field translates directly to Sunday dominance. Wilson's aggressive defensive schemes demand elite physical stamina from the front seven, making these brutal August sessions non-negotiable. The entire organization is backing this shift, believing that physical conditioning was the missing link during last year's frustrating late-game collapses. Players are reporting that practice drills are structured with military precision, leaving zero room for mental mistakes or lack of effort. The grueling heat of training camp is separating the pretenders from the contenders, and Burns is making sure every single defender stands on the right side of that line. Do you think Harbaugh's old-school intensity is exactly what Big Blue needed to finally break their postseason drought? Drop your thoughts in the comments below right now. And if you believe this defense will lead the NFC East in sacks this year, smash that like button. But as massive as this culture shift is on defense, the offense is preparing for a game-changing return that could break the division wide open. An injury timeline just got updated, and the entire NFC East needs to pay close attention. Whispers turned into pure electricity across the Meadowlands when the medical staff stepped forward with the latest report. The fanbase had been holding its breath for months, wondering when their elite playmaker would finally be cleared to unleash his full explosive potential on the field. The name everyone is buzzing about? Malik Nabers, and his road back from a torn ACL is moving much faster than initial projections ever suggested. Early reports had whispered that Nabers might be sidelined until mid-season, leaving the offense without its primary deep threat for the opening stretch. But coach John Harbaugh just shattered those pessimistic timelines during his latest media appearance. According to reporting from Dan Dugan of The Athletic, Harbaugh revealed that Nabers is right where he needs to be, and the organization is preparing to ramp him up into team periods as early as next week. That means Week 1 availability is suddenly a very realistic possibility. Let that sink in for a moment. As a rookie, Nabers was nothing short of sensational, hauling in 109 receptions for 1,204 yards and 7 touchdowns, despite playing in only 15 games. Before the knee injury cut his second year short, he was on a historic pace yet again, racking up 18 catches for 271 yards and 2 scores in just 4 games. When Nabers is on the field, defenses are forced to shift their entire safety alignment, opening up massive passing lanes underneath. Now, imagine what happens when you pair a healthy Nabers with second-year quarterback Jackson Dart for an entire full season. Last year, Dart took over the starting job early from veteran Russell Wilson, demonstrating incredible poise, arm talent, and mobility under pressure. However, Dart and Nabers barely had time to build true game-day chemistry before the injury occurred. This upcoming 2026 campaign represents their first full opportunity to establish themselves as one of the most dynamic quarterback-receiver duos in the entire league. The Giants' front office didn't stop there either. They added rookie linebacker Arvell Reese to bolster the defense, giving this entire roster a fresh, high-energy identity. If Nabers returns at 100% explosive speed, cutting on a dime without hesitation, this offense goes from predictable to virtually unstoppable. Insider reports indicate that during recent individual drills, Nabers was seen sprinting at top speed, making sharp horizontal breaks and landing on the surgically repaired knee with complete confidence. The training staff has monitored every single metric using state-of-the-art tracking tech, and all signs point toward maximum recovery. Offensive coordinator Matt Nagy is already designing custom play-action packages specifically built to exploit single coverage on Nabers deep down the field. Having a true number one wideout changes how opposing defensive coordinators prepare for Big Blue, forcing safety help away from the line of scrimmage. With the season opener approaching fast, the hype around East Rutherford is reaching an all-time high. How many receiving yards do you predict Malik Nabers will record if he plays all 17 games? Drop your exact stat line predictions in the comments right now. If you trust Jackson Dart to throw for over 4,000 yards this season, smash that like button immediately. However, while the offense gets ready to ignite, the front office is quietly weighing a high-stakes, controversial decision that could alter the entire secondary. A former first-round pick just visited the building, and the risk-reward calculus is driving front offices wild. A high-stakes gamble sits directly on the desk of the front office, and the decision-makers are evaluating every single detail before making their next move. The player in question possesses undeniable first-round talent, but off-field legal issues forced his previous organization to sever ties completely. The identity generating non-stop headlines across the league? Former Detroit Lions cornerback Terrion Arnold and John Harbaugh just broke down the exact calculus behind New York's sudden interest. On Wednesday, the Giants officially hosted Arnold for a private facility visit to conduct a deep dive into his situation. Arnold is currently facing serious felony charges, though he has firmly denied any wrongdoing as his legal process plays out. When asked directly about exploring a player facing such heavy baggage, Harbaugh offered a masterclass in NFL pragmatism. The head coach emphasized that in a league where margins of victory are razor-thin, organizations must be relentless in searching for any talent that can win games. Harbaugh noted that you look for every edge, whether it's analyzing film snippets online or evaluating available free agents who can elevate the secondary. However, Harbaugh was equally quick to clarify that the Giants organization has conducted an extensive investigation into Arnold's legal circumstances. If the front office determines that the legal situation presents unacceptable fallout, or if the league places the corner on the commissioner's exempt list, the franchise simply won't move forward. It is the ultimate risk versus reward balancing act. On the field, Arnold's skill set is undeniable. A physical boundary corner drafted in the first round who can lock down elite receivers in press coverage. Adding a talent of his caliber to a secondary that already features star potential could turn the Giants' pass defense into a nightmare for opposing offensive coordinators. But the off-field optics and potential suspension risks are massive variables. Harbaugh acknowledged that you have to anticipate what the league might do, weigh what stands to be gained against what could be lost, and make a firm twofold decision. It shows that under Harbaugh, the Giants will be aggressive, calculated, and completely fearless when searching for talent, while still protecting the team's long-term integrity. League insiders report that several other franchises have reached out to Arnold's representation, but New York's thorough vetting process shows how seriously they are considering the addition. Secondary coach Donald DeLizio and defensive coordinator Denard Wilson have evaluated Arnold's tape extensively, noting his elite footwork and recovery speed. If cleared, Arnold could step in as a starting corner, instantly fortifying a pass defense that struggled against top-tier division receivers last season. The front office is carefully weighing public reaction against competitive advantage, knowing that one wrong move could spark unwanted media distractions. Would you take the gamble and sign Terrion Arnold to a team-friendly deal right now? Let me know if the talent outweighs the risk in the comments below. 3 massive stories, one defining moment for Big Blue. John Harbaugh's relentless physical standards are laying the groundwork. Malik Nabers is on the verge of an explosive Week 1 return, and the front office is leaving no stone unturned to build a dominant secondary. The New York Giants are no longer playing passive football. They are building a tough, aggressive contender ready to throw punches in the NFC East. With Brian Burns setting the edge and Jackson Dart taking total control of the offense, the entire energy around MetLife Stadium has shifted from hopeful to downright dangerous. But if Big Blue wants to reign supreme, the execution has to be flawless from day one. Here is what I need from Giants Nation right now. First, smash that like button if you believe John Harbaugh will lead this team back to the playoffs in year 1. Second, comment below with your boldest record prediction for the 2026 season. Are we winning 10 games or taking the division title? Third, subscribe to the channel right now to stay ahead of every single breaking report before the season kicks off. But hold on tight, because here is the ultimate cliffhanger. Sources leak that if Malik Nabers completes full team reps next week without swelling, the Giants plan to unleash a brand new deep shot package in their preseason finale that will shock defensive coordinators. Meanwhile, the Philadelphia Eagles are reportedly keeping close tabs on New York's secondary moves, preparing a counter-trade offer for a veteran defensive back that could completely derail Big Blue's division plans. Which side makes the power move first? Stay locked, hit subscribe, and let's go Giants!